There's no doubt that Emma Watson is known for speaking very clear, modern, Southern Standard British English. She grew up in Oxford and was selected for her role as Hermione in Harry Potter because she showed strong confidence at a young age, which was found suitable for her intelligent character. But what is it about the way that she speaks that makes her accent sound like it does? What can we learn and take away from her English to improve our own? I'm Mike, I'm from Australia originally and I teach English and German here in Germany. In this video, we'll do some guided listening so you can hear exactly how Emma speaks, and then we'll take a closer look at some of the pronunciation features and vocabulary that she uses, and we'll try to make them our own using a technique of substitution. Now, when I speak German, people often think that I'm a native speaker because I've developed a strong accent in German. Einen guten Akzent in einer Fremdsprache zu erlernen, braucht man aber nicht unbedingt Muttersprachler zu sein. Man braucht dafür die richtigen Strategien, das Muskelgedächtnis zu fördern. First, we must be able to hear the various sounds, and then we also need to pay close attention to the mouth muscles of the speaker, as well as our own mouth muscles. We may need to try again and again over weeks or months before we're correctly able to produce the sound, but once we can, it becomes easy. With focused, consistent practice and reliable feedback, small changes can be made over time. Think of it like practicing scales on a musical instrument like guitar or piano. Okay, now let's come to the video of Emma. In this excerpt, she's speaking at the UN headquarters in New York, and it's only a short video of about 9 seconds. I recommend you take something to write with, like a pen or a pencil, and try to transcribe exactly what you hear word for word. Transcription is a fantastic way to test your listening ability. Okay, here's Emma.
I graduated from university 4 years ago. I had always dreamed of going, and I know how fortunate I am to have had the opportunity to do so. I graduated from university 4 years ago.
Okay, so the first thing that I notice is the pronunciation of I. It is pronounced I. Then the D in graduated is pronounced like a J sound. Graduated. Graduated. You can't really hear the O in from, so I graduated from.
Graduated from
And then university, not university, university.
University.
And you also can't hear the R in university or in for, so it's typical for British speakers to not pronounce the R at the end of a syllable, only before a vowel. So it's not university, it's university.
University.
And then for.
4 years.
And the S is pronounced like a Z, and they are linked together. 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Okay, let's come now to the stress. I graduated from university 4 years ago. So we've got a strong stress here. I graduated from university 4 years ago. So I graduated from university 4 years ago.
I graduated from university 4 years ago. I had always dreamed of going.
So there's a lot of things going on here. You can't really hear the A in had, so it's just had.
I had always,
and we've got linking there as well, so I had always. And with her accent, you can't really hear the L sound, so it sounds like always, not always, but always.
Always.
Okay, make sure you're pronouncing that S with a Z sound. I had always dreamed of going. Dreamed of, okay? And we've got linking here, and the O is pronounced like a V sound. So it's not of going, dreamed of going, but dreamed of going.
Dreamed of going.
And when we weaken the of sound, it enables us to speak more loudly with the going. I had always dreamed of going.
I had always dreamed of going.
Okay, so the stress we've got there, dreamed of going. I had always dreamed of going.
I had always dreamed of going.
I had always dreamed of going.
And I know how fortunate I am.
Okay, so you can't hear the D in and it becomes and I.
And
I know how fortunate I am. So we're not pronouncing the R in fortunate, and the TU sound is combining together to make a ch sound. Fortunate, fortunate.
Fortunate. Fortunate.
And we're losing this A here. It's just becoming a schwa, so it's nice and weak. Fortunate.
Fortunate.
And then linking here, I am. So we've got this I am. And I know how fortunate I am.
And I know how fortunate I am to have had the opportunity to do so.
Okay, it's quite interesting at the beginning. We've got to, which is regularly pronounced like this, but then it's becoming weakened. So we've got t, and then have is usually pronounced like this, have, but then this is becoming huv. Okay, and then we've also got H dropping here. So we've got t and uv, and these two together sound more like turv, turv. So to have coming together sounds like turv.
To have had.
The next thing that I notice is that the D is released into the TH, so it becomes had thee, had thee.
Had the.
And then we've got a linking Y sound here, so the opportunity.
The opportunity.
And again, we can't hear this R here, and it's just an sound, so opper, opper. Also with the TU, one more time, we've got this ch sound. So it sounds like opportunity, opportunity.
The opportunity, opportunities.
And then with to, it's not the regular to, it's to do so. So we really can't hear that O at all. So it sounds like to do so.
To do so.
To have had the opportunity to do so. Okay, in the next part of the video, we'll have a look at some of the pronunciation features that she's used, and we'll try to use these in other contexts as well to show you how you can use these features in your own English. So one of the features of her pronunciation is that she uses a weak form of the word from. So instead of saying from, she says from. I graduated from university.
Graduated from university.
From university. Okay, so we're kind of crossing out that O there. And then you can use this in other sentences like, I come from Spain. I got this shirt from London. A letter from your father. From your father. Another feature that she uses is typical for British pronunciation and also Australian pronunciation. It's don't pronounce the final R unless it's followed by a vowel. Okay, so we're not saying 4 years ago, we're saying 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Not your guitar, but your guitar. Your guitar sounds great. This R here, of course, we pronounce because it is followed by a vowel. Okay, so these ones are disappearing. 4 years ago, your guitar sounds great. Or the editor lives in Scotland. So these R's are not pronounced because they are not followed by a vowel. Okay, so the next feature is really typical of all native speakers, American speakers, British speakers, Australian speakers. This is linking across the space between words. If the word ends in a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel. So looking at this sentence here, I finished school 7 years ago. So the S is pronounced like a Z. In Emma's sentence, it was graduated 4 years ago. So you can link that anytime you have a consonant at the end of one word and a vowel at the beginning of the next word. And in the next one here, I moved to my city 2 years ago. Years ago. Okay, this feature now is the D is released into the sound, as in the and the.
Had the.
So you could say it in situations like this. I had the time of my life. So what's happening? The D is getting in position, ready to go had the, but it's releasing into the new sound instead of the old sound, D. So had the time of my life, or she had the cheesecake, or you might say, I had this idea, had this idea. Look at my mouth and my tongue. I had this idea. In this feature, she's pronouncing the TU sound as a ch sound. This is really typical of modern British English as well as Australian English.
Fortunate opportunity.
So whenever you see a TU like that, you can pronounce them as a ch sound. So these different words sound like fortunate, opportunity, actual, the London Tube, YouTube. Now this is a really key feature of Emma's accent, the O sound.
It's go, going, so.
It's quite forward in the mouth and the jaw is quite open and it's slightly nasal as well. So these words like so, go, ago.
It's go, going, so.
So you can practice this sentence if you want to practice this sound. Oh no, don't go home. And what we're doing, we're moving from this sound here to the W sound. So we're starting with and then we're moving to the W. So O. And that's how you make that sound. So I'll repeat that sentence for you again. Oh no, don't go home. Now many of my German students and also Spanish speakers might say, oh no, don't go home. But typically it's O. In British accents, American accents, and also Australian accents. But for Emma's accent, it's particularly nasal. Oh no, don't go home.
It's go, going, so.
And some other examples that have that sound are slow, phone, below, and won't. Now let's have a look at some of the vocabulary that Emma has used and we'll see how we can use this vocabulary in our sentences. So Emma says, I graduated from university 4 years ago. So we can ask ourselves, okay, what else can you graduate from? Well, typically it's an educational institution like a school or a college. So you can say sentences like, I graduated from school 2 years ago, or I graduated from college 6 years ago, of course. In this sentence, Emma said, I had always dreamed of going. So we can have a look at this context here. She's used the past perfect, actually, because she's referring to a time before she studied. So it's up until that point in time, which is in the past. So in these example sentences, we have something that has happened in the past already, and we're talking about that time beforehand. So for example, I had always dreamed of studying law, or I had always dreamed of learning how to play the guitar. Before moving away from my home city, I had always dreamed of living in another city. So in this sentence, Emma has said, I know how fortunate I am to have had the opportunity to do so. So we can take this part of the sentence with the past participle here, and then we can substitute some other things in there to personalize the sentences. Remember that Emma pronounced it like this. V. This part here, tuv.
To have had.
Okay, so you could say, I know how fortunate I am to have lived abroad. I know how fortunate I am to have met my partner. I know how fortunate I am to have traveled to Spain. Okay, how did you go? I hope you enjoyed this analysis and the opportunity to see how to personalize some of the elements of her speech for yourself. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you liked about it most. Okay, see you later.